What is up, guys? Welcome to another video. It is so good to see you. So good to be back. Honestly, I feel like when I do create a video, when I do post a video, when I do promote the video that I currently posted, it feels like forever since I have last posted. And there's so much that I want to tell you guys. And I know it seems as if I've just been uploading and then I upload 3 days later, and it seems like it could be very consistent for you guys. But honestly, it's been a journey. It has been a very crazy journey. I haven't recorded in about 2 weeks. When you guys do see this, it'll probably be posted 2 days before the next video, or the next week after I posted the last video, who knows. But this video is like, it's it's different because I feel like personally I'm getting to know myself so much more. I'm getting to know what I want to do with life. What are some things I want to be involved in? What are some things I don't want to be involved in? And I know that a lot of you guys have been on this journey with me. A lot of you guys have been supporting, have been sharing, have been liking, have been messaging me. And I just first and foremost want to say thank you, because it's you guys that keep me going. Most importantly, it's God, but it's also you guys that keep me going, because I know that a lot of people need that inspiration, need someone to push them in their walk. I mean, we all need community, we all need somebody. But honestly, guys, the past 2 weeks, I haven't been wanting to record. I haven't been wanting to show up. I haven't been wanting to upload any new videos or create content, edit content, just nothing. And I feel like I honestly felt that way because I was taking up on too many things, and I find myself doing that for, a few years in a row I've been doing that. But this time it feels different. It feels that I am in the right spot. I have to keep going. And all of this has a bigger purpose. All of this has a reason behind it. And I have to keep going, not only for myself, not only for the fact that God has placed many gifts in my life, in me, but also because I am also the church. I am also a woman that's in her walk. I'm also a woman who's learning. I'm a woman that's going through a season that many other people can relate to. And as I upload, I'm not just uploading another video. I'm feeling consistent. I'm feeling disciplined. I'm feeling like I'm growing confidence in myself. I feel like I'm growing as a woman. I'm growing to become the best version of myself. But most importantly, guys, I am fulfilling the purpose that God has for me. And who am I to stop? I've come so far. And it's not about me, guys. It's about how God is working within me and through me to fulfill his purpose. And he has a purpose for me. There's a reason why I love content creating. There's a reason why I love making videos. There's a reason why I love to post. And it's not because of the likes, the comments, the shares, or because I could go viral, or because, I can end up on podcasts or worldwide events, or just all of that. It's because I know that behind my video, a lot of people can relate to my video. A lot of people can understand where I'm coming from. A lot of people can grow a revelation through it. A lot of people can realize, like, wow, like, I'm actually going through the same thing. I'm not the only one that's going through the same thing. And it's videos like this that can help someone else. It's videos like this that can go far. It's videos like this that can help someone realize, like, you know what? My answer is God. I do need God, and I've been running away from it, and now I'm not going to continue to choose to run away from it. And what made me realize that I need to keep going, it's not because I feel like I've been doing this for so long and why stop now? But someone recently came up to me and had, well, they didn't come up to me, but they had called me, and they were sharing a conversation that me and that person had, and they had mentioned how because of that conversation that we had, they wanted to start their relationship with God. They didn't know what it looked like, what it would feel like, what to wear at church, what to do, who to talk to. They didn't know. But what they knew was because of that conversation we had, they knew it was time. They knew because of that conversation, because God spoke through me and within me in that conversation, it was time. It was time for that person to go to church. It was time for that person to stop running away from God and run towards God. And I share this because, guys, this is why I do it. I do it because God's goal, God's mission is people. My goal, my mission is people. I want the same goal, the same mission that God has. And that's what God wants from all of us, is to bring people closer to him, to bring people closer to God. And that's what I feel. I want to bring people closer to God. I want to help others, want to build a closer relationship with God. I'm not going to force it on people. I'm not going to force it upon people because people honestly, they do what they want, but I can't continue to me myself run away from God, or me myself stop certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't. It's so much happiness and joy and gratitude and grace that I feel. Back then I used to feel weird because I would take out my camera in public. Back then I used to feel, kind of awkward because I'm not like I'm recording and people are around. And now it's like I love it. I will pull out my camera. I will talk to people. I will, you know, talk to random people like, good morning, have a good day, God bless you. And it's because of that. It's because of me letting God in. It's because of me working on myself. It's because me surrendering to God is why people are seeing the seeds that are being planted in their lives. And I'm seeing those seeds being planted in other people's lives because of God. There's a reason why I feel confident in doing a video like this in public. There's a reason why I feel confident in the season that I'm in and the purpose that is being fulfilled. And with that person that I mentioned, they had mentioned to me, like, when they went to church the first time, they mentioned some things to me, and they were like, the next time I went, I knew I needed to dress better. I know now I need to bring a Bible, but I like it. I love, the Bible studies, and I'm getting involved in Bible studies. And they were saying so many beautiful things. And it made me so happy. Like, it made me so happy because I'm not saying I did that. I didn't do that. God did that through me. God allowed me to talk to someone, and I've known this person for like a whole decade. I've known this person for years. And they would always tell me, I don't know, like, I don't think I would be like you. I don't think I would read the Bible like you. I don't think I would go to church like you. I don't see myself doing this, doing that. But that's the same person that I planted the seed with, and God allowed me to speak to that person. And now that person randomly called me almost at 2 o'clock in the morning just to share to me how that person went to church and how they felt with Bible study and how they are consistent in their walk now and they want to know more and more and more. And that brought so much joy to me, so much happiness to me. And it's beautiful because that same week, as I was driving in this route, I had seen a Bible verse, and it was basically it. I'm not gonna say it was basically. I'm gonna tell you guys what the Bible verse was, and I was like, wow. So then I started being intentional with what I was, how I was thinking about certain things. So the Bible verse was, oh, I didn't even save it, but let me see. It says, pay attention to this, Job. Stop and consider the wonderful miracles of God. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Job. I'm trying to see. Hold on. I'm trying to see. Hold on. Job 37:14. So the Bible verse is Job 37:14. And in that Bible verse, it says, Hi. Good morning. Good morning. You shy? Have a good day. So in Job 37:14 it says, "Listen to this, Job, stop and consider God's wonders." So as I was driving and I like seen that Bible verse, I was like, wow, because I started intentionally looking at how God was working in the people around me. You know, I always see what God does with me. I always see how God provides in my life. I always see how God is helping me become more of a godly woman, more righteous, more obedient. I see what God's doing in me. But then when I read that Bible verse and I saw it, I was like, what about what God is doing in the people around me? Do I see that? And it's not because I'm selfish or I'm so focused on myself, but I'm not gonna lie, it has come to a point in my life where I have been very more focused on me, where I'm not worrying about everybody else, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But sometimes, because we're so focused on ourselves, we miss out on the blessings in other people's lives that we don't celebrate with them because we all deserve to be celebrated together. And so, reading that Bible verse and seeing it, it helped me to reflect and journal about the good things that God has done in other people's lives. People have forgiven family members. People have decided to go to church. People in my surroundings have stopped doing certain things that they were addicted to. People stopped having sex outside of marriage. People stopped drinking. People stopped smoking. They stopped partying. They started, waking up earlier. Those are things that God has allowed me to see in other people's lives because of that Bible verse that I had came across. And so when that friend that came up to that called me and told me that, I was able to see what God was doing in that person's life. And because of that Bible verse and because of the seeds that are planted, someone was comfortable enough, happy enough, confident enough to come to me and tell me thank you. Thank you because of you and because of the things that you did, the things that you said. I listened this time. I listened this time and I went to church. And because I went to church, I loved it, I enjoyed it, and I want to do it more. So I thank you. And guys, that is why I do this. That is why I keep going. Because it's not just about someone talking about God, but when you live every single day in surrender, and you try more and more and more to surrender, and you allow God to reveal things that need to be surrendered in your life and that need to be worked on and things that need to be corrected, people are going to see that in your surroundings. So why stop? Why stop now? Just because someone doesn't like your video, just because somebody doesn't follow you, doesn't mean they're not watching, doesn't mean they're not sharing, doesn't mean they're not waiting for the next video. We have to keep going. Life is going to run its course. Feelings are temporary. Feelings are always going to change. You can't trust your feelings. But let me tell you something, guys. The past 2 weeks, I have been contemplating if I want to keep posting or not. And I didn't post for about a few days. Right now, hold on. It's been, let me see the last time I posted. It's been 6 days. It's been 6 days since I last posted. And I haven't posted because I feel like I needed a moment to focus on me and God. And I want to focus more on me and God. I want to know His word, be the word, live by the word. Someone had opened my eyes to something. And I've been praying to God about allowing God to correct me where there needs to be correction. Where in my life do I need to be corrected in? Where in my life do I need to fix and I need to work on? And God revealed that to me. And someone came up to me and they allowed me to they didn't allow me to understand, but they gave me a perspective of a moment where I could have done something differently. And because of that person having the wisdom and obedience that God gave them, they trusted their heart, they trusted the Holy Spirit, and came to me and told me how they felt. And I had appreciated that so much, because I've been praying to God about that. I've been praying to God to show me where I need to be in correction, what I need to correct in my life. What are things that I need to work on? What are things that I need to stop doing? What are things that I need to surrender? And so very recently, not only was that person able to come to me and tell me how they felt, I was able to receive that, and I was able to correct it, and I was able to look at things in a different perspective and in a different lens. And not only that, I also um felt that I needed to surrender certain feelings that I had, certain feelings about whether it was someone, whether it was marriage, whether it was the things that I might have been idolizing or the things that I might have been focusing too much on, feelings as well. And then because of that, and because I was surrendering in that and I was feeling that way, I started feeling that I needed to just take a pause. And in that pause, I was feeling that I can be so inspiring on the outside. I can be so good on the outside. I can talk about God so much and show up and be consistent, be disciplined. But where was my heart? Where is my heart? How does my heart feel? What does my heart desire? And that was something that I was struggling with to understand. And that is why for the past like 2 weeks, I've been feeling back and forth with social media, because I asked myself, where is my heart? Where does my heart stand? Is it standing on the foundation of God? Am I one foot in, one foot out? Am I walking my talk? Am I sharing something but acting another way? Am I sharing what I'm sharing, but deep down in my heart, I feel something else? And so I felt that I needed to take a step back from posting in general and allow myself to be still, allow myself to be quiet, allow myself to hear from God. And so today, when I was at, at church service, they were talking about being settling. They were talking about settling. Like what are we settling for? And when we settle for something, sometimes we end up compromising some things. We end up putting some things to the side. We end up sacrificing. We end up settling for something that we should not be settling for. And part of that is being disobedient to God. Part of that is following our feelings, following our flesh. And I find myself in that moment where the pastor had asked us, like, what are we settling for? And what is something that, like, we have to let go of because we're in this walk, because we need to settle with God and we need to continue to run towards God. And my answer to that was some people, some relationships that I have in my life. There are some relationships in my life I know that do not serve God and do not serve me as a woman that's wanting to get closer to God. There's some relationships that I have in my life where I do feel like it might not pull me closer to God. It does pull me away from God. And I know for myself that it doesn't matter how long you've known somebody, because you're here, because you want to build a closer relationship with God, you have to let that go. It doesn't matter how close you may think you are to that person. Is it worth being closer to that person than being closer to God? Is it worth, you know, going towards a path that doesn't serve God just because you want to hold a friendship that's been a friendship for years? Or do you want to do right by God and be obedient to God and remember that you are choosing the lifestyle that you're choosing, which is to follow God? You can't be one foot in and one foot out. And I find myself in that position today as I was in church service. I was like, wow, like, is it time for me to really let go of friendships that I've had for years because it doesn't fulfill the purpose, because it's not bringing me closer to God. And something that I also thought about was that just because a person is a good person doesn't mean they're a good person for you. Just because a person may have good intentions for a friendship or whatever their intentions are doesn't mean it's good for you. A person can give you good advice. A person can have, good things in their life, but they might not have the good intentions for your life, and they might not push you towards something good, but push you away from something good. And my thing is something that I ask myself is like, when I'm going through something, I have friends that can listen. I have friends that will be there and they will listen and give me advice. But because I'm in this walk with God and I'm in this path and I'm in this purpose, I feel like I don't want an advice. I don't want an advice. I want the word. What does the word tell me? What does the word say about my situation? If I come to you and I'm going through something, I would love for your response to be like, "Hey, but in so and so verse, chapter blank, verse blank, it says blank. So because you're going through this, understand that in this verse, it's a reminder that blank and blank." That's where I'm at. And if I have friendships that if I go to someone and I'm going through something and I tell them, "Hey, I'm going through this," and they're like, "Yeah, but like this and this and that," and they're not backing it up with scripture, what am I really following? Am I following a flesh, or am I following a spiritual advice? Am I following a worldly advice and how this generation is? Or am I following what the word says and what worship says and praise towards God says? So I find myself in that position where I'm like, although I feel that this is a good friendship, this is a good person, this person may have good intentions, I've known this person for years, are they giving me the path to follow God? Or are they giving me a path that is not in alignment with God? So I asked myself that today, and going into this new year, going into a new year, there's a lot that I need to think about. It's been a year. It's been a big year. It's been a journey. And not only am I walking into a new year being single, I have not walked into a new year being single in like so many years, you know? And it's like I'm no longer posting because of a view or a like, or because I'm going viral. I'm posting because, guys, this is my journey. This is where I'm at. I'm giving it to you raw. I'm giving it to you straightforward. I really don't edit these videos. I really don't. I edit when I start and I edit when I'm literally about to finish. I really don't clip out anything. I tell you guys how it is. Whether you guys are ready to hear it or not, I say it how it is, because I know that people's walk and what I'm currently like going through right now, a lot of people could relate to it. We went from wanting marriage to now being single. We went from being in a relationship and having a miscarriage to moving out and not having a man and being single. And now I'm going to a new year and it's completely different. My focus is different. A lot has changed. Closure has happened. Amends has happened. And I know that a lot of people could relate to the season that I'm in. So instead of me sharing my testimony when everything has been accomplished and I'm at a better position, why not share it now? Why not share what I'm growing through? Because I'm not going through it, I'm growing through it. And I see what God's doing in my life. And I don't want to stay quiet. I don't want to stay quiet because, I'm afraid of what people would think, because I made a decision, or because I left the relationship that I was in, or I this or I that. Like, listen, guys, with all respect, I love everybody that I've been with. I love everybody that has left my life. I love everybody that's to come. I love everybody that has hurt me. I am at peace. I'm at peace with my ex. I'm at peace with relationships that didn't work out. I'm at peace with every single person that has left my life. I've forgiven all of you guys. I've forgiven anyone who has cheated on me, anyone who has done me wrong, anyone who has disrespected me, anyone. I've forgiven, from family to friends to acquaintances to strangers. Like, I've forgiven. I do not look at people the same way I once looked at them. I will literally see you and receive you with peace and love, even though you just disrespected me. Why? Because God is in me. Jesus is within me. Jesus' blood roams within my blood, within my cells, within my body, within me. I have changed a lot. I feel like a lot of things that I once dwelled on, I no longer dwell on. I'm taking care of me in this season, and I'm growing. I'm learning so much about myself, and I feel like I may love you, but I may not be in love with you. I may love you, but I may not love you in a way that I can see myself building a future with you. I can love you as a friend, I can love you as an acquaintance, but I'm not going to love anyone in a relationship type of level. That's another thing. I feel like very recently the word love has been um on my mind. The word rush. A lot of people were there was a week where a lot of people were coming to me and they were telling me rush, rush, rush. And it wasn't rushing as I need to rush. It was rushing as in I need to slow down. I need to stop rushing and I need to slow down. And so instead of me receiving that with anger and receiving that with question, I received that and I started thinking about what areas in my life may I be rushing? What areas or things that I'm doing in my life am I feeling like I may be rushing? And so, yeah, like all of us, I mean, majority of us women, we want a marriage. We want a beautiful wedding, whether it's big or small. We want the flowers and the ring and the relationship and the love and the man and this and that. But I had to ask myself, what was I rushing? What was I doing? And I had to slow down. So in the midst of slowing down, I fell back with social media for a little bit. I stopped creating videos. I started being intentional when I was looking at the sunrise and the sunsets and when I was working out, and I started reading the book of Genesis, and now I'm here. And I feel like what I was rushing was the the season, the process. You know, behind all of this, God has a blessing. Behind all of this, a lot of fruits, a lot of seeds are being planted, a lot of fruits are being spreaded and given. And so I cannot rush this process. I cannot rush to get to the next step. I need to slow down. And I don't need to rush to be with somebody. I don't need to rush to hang out with somebody. I don't need to rush and hold on to something because I want it or because it looks good on the outside. And I need to just trust God with it, because whatever is meant for us is meant for us. Whatever is in store for us, whatever is part of God's plans for us, we don't need to chase it. We don't need to hold on to it. We don't need to beg for it. Because if we're begging, if we're chasing, if we're forcing it, if we're trying to hold on to it, that means it's not ours. That means that it's a flesh and it's not a spirit feeling, and that your flesh wants to hold on to it. And maybe you got to figure out what's the root of it. What's the root of why you want to hold on to something that isn't yours and that never was yours to begin with. And so that's another thing that the past 2 weeks I've been reflecting on, is that. And it's a lot to even grasp. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to speak about. But I'm being very honest with you guys. Those are some things that I've thought about the past 2 weeks of me not posting, not creating videos. Um, like I said, it's been 6 days since I last posted. A lot has happened in 6 days, and a lot that I feel has changed. And I feel like what I once wanted, I no longer want. When it comes to a relationship, I feel like it's not that I've given up on love. It's not that I've given up on wanting to be with a man. Obviously, I would love to. I would love to be married. I would love to have kids. I would love to build with somebody. But I'm realizing that, like I said before, my focus is my heart right now. My heart, my inside, my heart. Where is my heart? What does my heart desire? What does God want for me? Who does God want for me? And so the only thing, the only relationship that I want in my heart is my relationship with God. I will not be using the word love if it's not in a spiritual kind of manner, in a spiritual kind of way. The word love is a very strong word, and I do not have love in a relationship kind of way towards nobody except God. I love everyone. Like I would love a stranger, just like I would love a brother and sister. I would love a friend, just like I would love my family. I love everybody in the same level, in the same way. And no one is more loved than the other. I don't love someone more than I love the other. I love God more than anything. That's where I stand. I feel like the word love can be very misused. The word love can be thrown everywhere. However, and I no longer want to just throw the word love. Love is a very strong word. And I'm starting to realize that within loving myself, within loving my family, within loving God, within loving who I am as a person, and loving the people around me just as they are. And love is a strong word. So I am just not looking, I am not looking for a relationship. I'm not looking for a man. I'm not, it's come to the point where I don't even be on my phone. Like, I feel like another thing that had transpired or I thought about per se was when we when us people come across other people, whether it's at an event, whether it's at church, whether it's in school, wherever it is, we're so used to getting their Instagram, their Facebook, their number, their Snapchat, if you guys use that, because I don't have Snapchat, but we're used to getting some type of way of connecting with that person again because we want to stay in contact with them, right? Now, I don't want that. I feel like I can vibe with you, I can understand you, I can have a great conversation with you, but it's just going to be in that moment. It's just in that moment because I feel like now, I feel like if you're meant to be in my life, I don't want to come out my way and give you my number or give you my Instagram or something just to stay in contact. It was a great conversation. You go your way, I go my way, and that's where I'm at now. I feel like I'm so locked in with myself that if we're meant to come across one another, if we're meant to find each other again or see each other again, then God will put that in place. God will allow you to be at the same place I'm at in the same place and time and vice versa, and we will come across each other again, and that's God, or whatever, because I don't believe in coincidences. But what's meant to be, what's meant to happen will happen, and I just feel like I'm no longer looking to come out my way and be like, hey, here's my number, let's stay in contact. Like, no, if you're not a girl, like if you're not a female, then no. If you're a man, then no. But if you're a woman, cool. Let's connect, sisterhood. But when it comes to men, it's like, I'm sorry, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I'm sorry, I'm good. Whether you want to be friends or a relationship, cool. I'll just keep you at an acquaintance and a brother kind of love. And I just feel like I've kind of put this wall up where I don't want a man to think that I can see myself having a relationship with him or starting a relationship with him because I myself, I'm only focused on God. I'm focused on my heart. I'm focused on who I am as a person. I'm focused on the things that I want to accomplish, the goals, the passions, all of it. And a lot of it takes time. It takes time to make these videos. It takes time to edit these videos. It takes time to create videos on TikTok and post them. It takes time to build a community. I've also built a community. I have a Telegram chat. It's called Kingdom Conversations. And I post on that every single day. I'm posting devotional sermons, videos, worship songs, um, inspiring videos that have to do with Bible verses, and it helps you throughout your day. We're talking about events. We're talking about the Elevation event that's coming up in February, and I'm just building community. I have a lot going on where me looking for a relationship or me giving attention to a man, one man, like me pursuing one man, talking to one man, pursuing a relationship, like it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to talk to one person, like a man, build a relationship with this man, get to know this man, go on dates, go out, do this, do that. No, 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 no. Let's just be friends. Let's just be acquaintances. Let's have no feelings towards each other, and let's just let God. Because at this point, I feel like when I went based off of my own understanding, when I went out my way to make it known how I felt towards somebody or wanted to be with somebody or was with somebody, a lot of it was dismissed. A lot of it wasn't in alignment. That now I feel like, okay, instead of me going into another relationship and doing the same thing or having the same patterns, I'd rather just not be in a relationship and not have to deal with a relationship or deal with relationship stuff, and just focus on my relationship with God and focus on my relationship within myself. Because that also takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to work on yourself, read the Bible, go to church, figure out who you are as a person, work on yourself, surrender things to God, figure out like, what you want to do with life, pray about it, wait. Like it takes a lot of time too. And you're important and I'm important. And I feel like nobody can take you away from you. All the work that you put into yourself, nobody can take away. The more you work on yourself, the more confident you are as a woman or a man. The more time you spend just becoming the best version of you, the more you're able to blossom into the man or woman that God has created you to be, and nobody can take that away from you. So, the past 2 weeks have been a lot. I've learned so much. I feel like I've been surrendering things daily. Something I've been doing, which obviously, I mean, I guess I could go and show you guys, is I've been journaling. So I have like this, it's like a prayer journal. So it's a prayer journal. Oh, hold on. It's a prayer journal, and each day I'll go and I'll write things. And then I recently started another one where I'm not going to show you guys too much, but it says planting seed testimonials. So anyone that comes up to me and they feel like, I guess I planted a seed in their lives, I want to journal it because it's just now. You know what I mean? I planted a seed and they came to me and told me something, but that's just the beginning of it, because later on in life they'll be in a better position or they'll be in another position, and I'll look back on this journal and I'll be like, wow, like you remember on so and so day so and so happened, look at you now. So I feel like it's not only a journal for myself, but it's also a journal for others, because when you start to see what God is doing in everyone else's lives too, you start to embrace, you know, your walk with God as well. And I feel like because of that Bible verse from Job, I was able to also see how God has worked and has been working in other people's lives as well. So I feel like when it comes to journaling, like every single day, what I do is that I will pray, I would journal a prayer to God, and in the midst of me journaling that, I end up putting things I need to surrender and things I need to pray about, like other things that I realized in that prayer as I was journaling, what I need to pray about. And then I'll go and I'll write that and I'll say, okay, I need to surrender this, I need to surrender that. And it helps a lot because when I was journaling in my notebook, I feel like I just wanted to fill the page up. I wanted to get it over with. So I would just write and write and write. But when I'm actually like sitting down and I'm journaling on my phone, I feel more intentional with it because I feel like I'm connecting with my thoughts, and I'm actually not caring if I'm typing 3,500 words or if I'm typing 50 words. I don't care how long or small the paragraph is or the prayer is, I just type. And I have some small prayers, I have long prayers. I have some things that I journal, some things that I end up journaling, after the end of the day. But I feel like I'm on my phone. My phone comes with me everywhere. And if I feel something, I could just go into the journal of that day and just write, I was at the park and I felt really, really good because so and so happened, or this is what I felt, or whatever the case is. And I feel like it does bring a lot of new things to me versus if I journal at the end of the day and then I have to reflect on the whole day. So it just helps me a lot. I do, like I said, if I'm feeling something, I just grab my phone and I pray and I just journal it. And if you guys are also wondering, do I back it up? I do back it up. It is backed up to my iCloud and we're good on that. And yeah, so I don't know how we got here, but we got here. And you know, God is just so good. Um, it's November. It's a new month, obviously. We're about to start a new year soon. Um, and I'm excited for what's to come. I feel like there's a lot of things I've been working on, guys. I have been working a lot of things. Sometimes I don't think too much about my season, and I feel like sometimes I don't give myself enough grace. In the beginning of the year, which I should just make this another video at this point, but in the beginning of the year, I was in a relationship. I was very much in love with this person. I feel like I wanted to be with this person. I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him. I wanted to get married and, you know, build and all this stuff. And so things, as time went by, we had got baptized in March, and then time went by, and it's like God was just putting things in my heart, like things that just wasn't in alignment. And I was so back and forth with myself because I'm like, I've been with this person for years. I was healing with this person. I was healing for myself. I was working, on myself, and I was so scared to just leave the relationship because I wouldn't really say scared, but it was more so because of like what's next. Not knowing what was next, not knowing what will life be like without the person, not knowing, you know, what would I do? I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna die without the person, knock on wood. But what I'm saying is like when you're so used to somebody, when you're so used to texting them, living with them, cooking, cleaning, going out to eat, when you're so used to all these things, to pull the trigger, it's like, wow, like, is it worth me pulling the trigger, or, you know, should I give it time? And so I felt like I was giving it time. I had given it time and time and time. That when I did pull the trigger, I did think about what's next. I thought about the house that we had, the house that we was renting. I thought about, you know, um, the things that we had together and the things that we needed to separate from together, and what would life look like without him or without waking up to him. And it was a lot that was happening, but I went through with it, guys. And once I made that decision, I stuck through with it, and I remained stand what's the word? I let my yes be my yes and my no be my no. I stood my ground with the decision that I made. That when I made that decision and when he then left, I had it hit in that moment. Well, it hit like a few days later or so. It hit, and I still knew I couldn't go back. Whatever the next looked like, I couldn't go back because at that point I'm moving backwards. And so I just trusted God, and I trusted God, and I trusted God, and God has provided. God has provided for me, not only financially, but He has opened doors for me that I wouldn't even, I'd even think about when I was planning on taking the next step to start my own life. I wasn't thinking about where I was going to end up at or what was I going to do. I wasn't thinking about who I was going to talk to or who I wasn't going to talk to. I cannot express enough how I have met some incredible people since I left that relationship. I have built so many friendships within church, within social media, within outside. Like, I've been connecting with myself. I have been consistent in my walk. I have been going to the gym 5 times a week. I have been waking up early. I have been, honestly, I've been tired. I've been very tired, but that's because I've been consistent with my walk. I've been very serious about the things that I want to get done and do. I feel like I'm no longer just putting myself to the side. I'm being very disciplined with putting myself first. putting my walk with God first. I'm no longer compromising certain things. And it's because of that leap, it's because of me taking that step, I was able to see the fruits of God. I was able to see what God is doing in my life. And because I made that decision, God has given me the strength to continue. And God's given me the peace and understanding that our chapter is over. Um, I've learned a lot about myself. God has revealed a lot to me. And I'm not the same person I was when I walked into this year. And I'm not the same person as I was when I went down to get baptized and the person I came out as. And I'm not the same person I was when I left the relationship, and who I am now, I'm not. I have a lot of peace within myself. I have more happiness and joy than anger and resentment. I don't have anger or resentment or hate towards anybody. I'm much more calm. I'm more confident in who I am. Um, I'm more quiet, honestly. And I know it could be hard to believe, but I'm much more quiet. Um, and I'm just not the same person. And I've understood that it's okay to not be the same person. It's okay to not like the things that you once liked. It's okay for someone to tell you you've changed. You like all you focus on is yourself and God. It's okay because some people won't understand. Some people really won't get it. If you're not really in it, if you're really not locked in, you won't understand. And so I have so much peace that surpasses all understanding. I've learned how important it is to have community because iron sharpens iron. I've learned that I need to continue to see the fruits of God and understand that God is everywhere and that everything is spiritual, and no there is nothing wrong. Why is there a ladybug? And that's funny. I've been seeing ladybugs everywhere. There's nothing wrong with change. There's nothing wrong with somebody used to you being a certain version of yourself and you changing yourself to become better for yourself. Because at the end of the day, you yourself is something no one can take away. The works you put onto yourself, your mindset, how you think, how you feel, how you talk, how you react, what you do, what you don't do, how you stay up at night to read the Bible or do anything. Nobody can take it away from you. So, as I end this with so much peace. I end this with so much gratitude because I know that God is doing a good work in me. I know that everything that's happening is happening for my good. And I know that everything I post isn't for a like, a comment, a view. I don't care for it. I appreciate everyone that does support me, but most importantly, I'm doing this for God. I'm sharing the good news of God. I'm sharing what God is doing in my life, and I'm not sharing it to brag about, oh, like my life is good because God is so good. No, I'm sharing this because, guys, this is part of my testimony. And if it can help, and if God is helping me, I know that God can help you through this video. And I don't just share this because I just want you guys to know my business. No, I share this because, guys, every season you go through, every season you encounter this ladybug. I need to take a picture of this ladybug. I'm gonna show you guys. Hold on. Like, look at this ladybug. I cannot tell you guys enough how many ladybugs I've seen this week. Orange ladybugs, to be exact. Orange ladybugs. But, um, yeah, I post these videos because I know it can help anyone out there. Anyone who is single, anyone who's scared to leave a relationship, anyone who's afraid to leave their home, anyone who's afraid to surrender, anyone who feels like they're not enough to build a relationship with God, I know that my videos can help you want God, can help you think about things, can help you reflect on certain things, can help you in any way, shape, or form. Because I know that if God did it in my life, God could do it in your life. I used to curse all the time. I used to listen to secular music. I used to wear crop tops. I used to wear, clothes that would reveal my breast. I used to wear very tight clothes. I used to not mind if, you know, my legs were showing or my stomach was showing or my breasts were showing, but now I feel confident in being covered. Now I feel confident in going to the gym with baggy clothes. Now I feel good. I feel myself. I feel like I don't need to show my body to feel beautiful or whatever. I don't need to do something to get eyes on me or be seen by anybody. No. If you like me for me. If you love me, you love me for me. You love me just as I am. I don't need to change anything to please anybody else because I'm doing it for me. So, and I'm doing it for God. So, I share these videos because it's people like you that need videos like this to understand that you're not alone. You're not the only one that's going through what you're going through. Other people are going through it too. I share this because not only is it just my testimony, but it's my walk with God. I don't want to just show you guys just the perfect picture or the beautiful portrait that's being painted when life is great. I want to show you guys what it took to get there. I want to tell you guys how there's days where I don't want to post. There's days where I don't want to edit. There's days where I don't even want to talk to anybody. But there's days that I want the whole world to know about God. I want everyone to see God in me. Like there's days where I'm just at 1,000 and I just want to worship all day. Like it's normal. But I post because you have to understand that it is normal. What you're feeling is normal. What you're going through is normal. The season you're in is normal. You not knowing the not knowing, or you knowing the knowing, but not knowing the things you don't know in the not knowing or knowing. It's confusing, but God isn't a God of confusion. And so I pray that this video has helped you in one way, shape, or form, and that you understand that God loves you so much. Everything will work out for your good, and you have to just change your perspective in everything. What has worked out for me is that if I'm thinking about something, I have to back it up with scripture to know that I'm in alignment with God and it's a spiritual thing. Or if I'm not thinking about the things of God, I have to cast it out and speak life into me to go back to the path God has me in and not get off the road or the path that God has me in. So if you would just put God in everything in your life, you will start to see the fruits. You will start to see what God is doing in your life, which is why now, if I was positive back then, I'm even more positive now because of the fact that I always go back to God. If somebody made me upset or somebody made me angry in that moment, we obviously may not go to the Bible, or we obviously may not, do the right thing or say the right thing. But in the midst of it, though, we have to sit back and think, God, did you just test me right there? Or God, I'm actually triggered by that. And you go back to God with it. And so that's something that has helped me very, very much, is going back to God with everything and understanding that you have to put God in the center of everything, no matter if it's a decision, a relationship, what you're going to wear, what you're going to do. You have to go back to God in everything. And that's how you will see Him in everything. So I think I'm done. I think I'm done. This is why I have to continue, because there's so much joy in this. I feel so happy when God speaks through me, and I just love to spread the good news of God because I know that God is so good. But I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. I love you guys so much. Guys, another thing, and I want to end it here. I have a Telegram chat and I post every single day. All of us are posting in there. There's prayers, there's sermons, there's worship music, there's inspiring faith-based videos, there's Bible verses, there's script, the same thing. There's events. I always post on there every day. A lot of us post daily too, and it's to help everyone in community be together, to grow together, to learn together. and to spread the good news of God. So if you are interested in wanting the link, it is a free link. It's free access. You just comment chat down below, comment chat, CHAT, and I will forward you the link. And just know that you're not alone. You have community. Community is very important in this walk. And God loves you so much. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to serve God in these videos and to fulfill His purpose through me and through you. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your support, and God bless.